Hi, I here. This is a reading for the sign of Scorpio. We're going to pull 2 cards from the Thoth deck to represent the energy that is currently surrounding you. What we see on the bottom of the Thoth deck is going to represent your general energy. We're then going to pull 9 cards from the huge tarot deck and turn those over little by little to see what message or story we need to see today. The card that we find on the bottom of that deck is going to represent the general theme of this reading. And once we get a sense of the general message that's coming through, we're going to pull 1 card from the shadow deck to see what's in your unconscious energy. And then what is on the bottom of that deck is going to represent what you don't see coming. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so we are tuning into the energy of Scorpio today. So if that is your sun, your moon, your rising, however you are identifying with the energy of Scorpio today, you can use that to help color the way you interpret the messages that are coming through. And as always, if the messages don't seem to fit, do not try to force them. You can always check your other placements, or you can stick around and just see what's going on in the world of other Scorpios. So let us see what information or insights or things to meditate upon that we can get today for the sign of Scorpio. So as I said, we're going to pull 2 cards from this deck, and that's going to represent the energy that is currently surrounding you. Let's do one more good shuffle. All right. Okay, let's pull 2 cards from here, and this will be the energy that is currently surrounding you. So 1, 2 cards, excuse me, and your general energy is the 8 of Cups. So I think you are in a position where you are feeling as if some situation you were in has run its course. There's some either project or relationship or something you're involved in where the joy that it once brought to you is no longer there. This isn't like a sudden sort of impact of pain that is coming to you. This is more of a slow realization that whatever this is, you're going to have to walk away from it. And you're going to do so of your own will. This is not something that's going to be forced upon you. But I think you're coming to realize that there's some situation that is just not for you anymore. And it's time to step aside and move on to whatever the next thing is going to be. So that's your energy here with the 8 of Cups. What is surrounding you is, change and lust. You are ready for something new. You are feeling stale, you're feeling stagnant, and you're ready to develop something new. You're ready to bring some amount of change by maybe altering or adding into your life something that you do not currently have. So this is the energy of taking where you are currently, the place you are currently in, and sort of breaking it into pieces that you can then juggle and try to make sense of how to balance those things out as you develop whatever the next stage or project of your life is going to be. Where you're at currently feels stale and you're ready for something new. This is the practical side of that change. This is the passionate side of that change. With here the Lust card, this is your desire to step into something that makes you feel powerful, something that makes you feel alive, something that makes you feel ready to take charge of your life and feel like you are in command of whatever the next chapter is going to look like. So again, you are ready to walk away from something in your current situation. You're ready for practical change, and you're ready for something that's going to really feel emotionally resonant with you. So let's get a little bit more about what this story is telling us with the huge tarot deck. So this is a traditional Rider-Waite deck. This is my oldest tarot deck, and for the last 2 series of readings I've been using it. It's just has slight variations on the traditional Rider-Waite cards. But because it's a deck I've had for so long, the images and the sort of personal resonance of this has been a nice it's been a nice tool for trying out this new spread that I've been doing for these last 2 cycles of readings. So let's see what it can tell us today. We are going to pull 9 cards from this deck, and then we're going to turn them over little by little and we're going to see what story is unfolding that tells us a little bit more about the context of maybe what it is you're walking away from, or the nature of how that's going to play out, or maybe even a story about what led you to this. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so let's pull 9 cards from here. Okay, and the theme of this reading is, yep, that makes sense, the Chariot. Okay, you're ready for change, and you're trying to get yourself calibrated and ready to move into the next thing. You're ready to walk away from whatever it is that's not serving you. You're ready to build something new. And what the Chariot represents is the movement into something new, but it's not just the movement itself. It's about the navigating process that's required of making this movement. It's about balancing the extremes. And you see the 2 horses here, they're of different colors, they're of different natures. And without some level of control or organization, those 2 things are going to pull in different directions, and you're never going to go anywhere if those are not brought into some kind of alignment. So I have a feeling that since this is the theme of this reading, what we're going to see here is you've got the passion, you're ready for change, you know that where you're at it isn't working, but we need to learn a little bit more about how this process is going to play out. Or perhaps maybe the insight of realizing it's time to walk away has come from you sort of taking stock of where you're at and realizing that your desires and your goals and your passions are not in line with what you're spending your time doing. That's just a hunch. Let's see what actually comes out here with the cards, though. So let's start here with the Hermit. Okay. So, yeah, I think you're in a period where you have been sort of recoiling into yourself and just reflecting upon the nature of your life, what it means to you, what are the things that are important to you, what are your passions, what do you want to create? Are you creating the things that you want to put into the world? Or are you, just putting all of your goals on hold and just, sitting in the darkness, wallowing in your sadness? The Hermit's not just sitting alone doing nothing. The Hermit's sitting alone, and he's thinking about where he is and what he's trying to do and what he wants to accomplish. And so if we're ready to move on to something new and there's a recalibration process that needs to happen, it makes sense that we would start in a Hermit energy of going back inward and saying, well, what's the problem with me that I need to address so that I can put out into the world the things that are going to make my life better? Okay, I think you are motivated by victory. You want to conquer your life. You don't want to just go through the motions. I think in order for you to feel passionate about something, you want to be motivated by a sense of success, of overcoming triumphs. Not success in like a monetary sense, though that might be an element of it. I see that as you're looking and reflecting inwardly about what motivates you, I think what leads you forward is the desire to overcome difficulties. The strife is something that sort of gives you the push to want to invest in something. When you see a challenge, knowing that you can succeed even if you can't do it immediately is what motivates you to put in the time and the effort. And I think this here with the Queen of Cups, I think so why I think this is what motivates you is I'm looking at this as a sort of a timeline. You're currently in this Hermit energy and you want to move into a direction of victory and success, and you're coming from a place of, as you're looking inwardly and trying to understand what is important to you, I think you're reflecting upon what brings you joy, what brings you emotional power. What is it inside of you that nurtures you? So we have the Queen of Cups as this the romantic or nurturing love that is going to help you grow into your best person. And this doesn't necessarily have to be something external. I think this is actually your internal sort of softer side that looks inward and says, okay, I'm important, I matter, I can do these things. But that can only just be a backdrop, right? It has to have a goal to push forward towards. And I think so this is sort of the background of where your point, as you're projecting forward into your goals and your tasks you want to accomplish. It comes from this place of sort of self-reflective love, and or maybe the lack thereof, but trying to get to this love as a background to push off against. And then what you push towards with that love that's fueling you is this desire to overcome and to succeed, and possibly even to conquer things that do not serve you or the rest of the world. I almost feel a sense of a noble quest that pushes you forward and pushes you out of hermit energy. Otherwise, I think you're happy and content to just stay in that hermit space. And you need something that's going to push you forward. And again, I think that's motivated by your emotional tenderness that maybe doesn't always come out. And that's what it comes from. And it pushes towards a desire to conquer and succeed over things that are either negative or destructive. And that's I think what is fueling you as you're going through this reflective period. Okay, so we now see the Page of Swords and the Empress. So I think this is, so I think up here is what's sort of motivating you internally. I think this might be what is more motivating you on the surface of your life. Again, I think this is a story about calibrating different aspects of yourself. Maybe there's an internal, external aspect to this that needs to be addressed. But again, underneath the Queen of Cups, we have another nurturing energy of manifesting and growth. Instead of the Queen of Cups, who is the queen of the realm of emotions, we have the Empress, who has some overlapping qualities with this sort of emotional tenderness and this nurturing quality to them. But the Empress is even more so a source of manifestation and inspiration. She is I think this energy is showing up here again to represent a similar kind of vibe of what is pushing you forward. But I think what you are guided towards is some way of either experiencing or expressing some amount of beauty, and taking the things that you feel internally and wanting them to manifest in a physical form, whether that be through the people you care about, the projects you work on. I see this as being sort of the physical version of the sort of spiritual or emotional side of the Queen of Cups that's motivating you from this direction of left to right. You're motivated here by a desire for victory, but in order for you to achieve that victory, you're going to have to carve out some version of yourself that you present to the world. And I usually like to think of the Page of Swords as taking your mental energy, your thoughts, and your visions of yourself, and using that to sort of shape your immediate world around you, not to project yourself outwardly, but to create a space in which you are able to later express yourself. I see the Page of Swords as being an energy more of taking inward thought and sort of creating a place where it can begin to be able to be manifested in terms of you putting the inside you into the world. So this is, I feel, is sort of building the set and the stage around you that you can comfortably express yourself in. So I feel like this row here is really like the sort of physical manifestation of what is guiding you in the top row mentally. So this is where you're sort of thinking initially. These are sort of the things that are propelling you forward and the goals you're pushing towards. And this is a physical version of that. We are trying to create some space around you that is going to feel in line with the way that you feel internally. And maybe surrounding yourself with things that you appreciate, or moving towards things that you love, or things that help you feel inspired. But again, this is, I feel, is creating an environment around you, because if you want to grow, you have to surround yourself with things that are going to inspire that growth. And that's what I'm getting from this second row. And let's see what this card is here. The Lovers. Yeah, I think what is happening here is we are making some sort of integration of the mental, spiritual realm into the physical realm. And this whole row is about deciding what you're going to put your energy in terms of the things that are around you. The Lover's card is a card of choice. It's a card of commitment. It's a card of knowing that there are options, but you have to pick an option to decide how the next stage is going to proceed. So I think you are trying to figure out how to build a world around you that will inspire you to be able to develop into what it is that you feel like you are lacking. And so again, you have to start with an idea. You then have to begin clearing the way for a place for that idea to be created. And I have a feeling that this third row is going to give us even more of a sort of from the top down, sort of most abstract to most physical version of what this transformation is looking like. But we'll see. Okay, yeah, Four of Wands and Nine of Pentacles. More fire energy here. We had the wands on the top and the wands here on the bottom. This is going to be you building some sort of communal interaction with other people. Maybe it's an actual physical event, a party, a gathering, building some kind of community that you can be a part of. So again, this is sort of beginning to create the space in which a change can occur. I think the change you want to move towards is you want to have some sort of spiritual or physical home that you build with the people around you that you actually care about, in a place where you can use these wands as a pillar that will be the energy essentially that is holding up the roof that sits above you and keeps you protected from the things outside of you that are keeping you sort of unhappy or making you feel less than you could be. So this is you trying to build some community, or trying to become a part of and work inside of some other community of other like-minded people that, again, are going to help you become the best version of yourself. So you want to move towards victory. You want to find a place where you can feel like you fit in with the other people around you who think similarly towards you, or as you. And this is going to be the actual like physical place in which that occurs, finding your community, the home and the group that you're going to associate with. And this is going to be you finding the security in your financial matters, or in your whatever resources you have in your life. This is you getting some control over that. So maybe you already are in a place where you're already well off financially, or maybe you're struggling, but this is a card where you're going to really feel like you're in control, where you're not just, making choices and changes because they're things that feel right, but they're going to be things that in the physical world you can actually feel grounded in and in control of, and have some sense of feeling like you are a part of a group, and feeling like you have a nice stable place in which you can reflect upon the good work that you have done as you've gone through the work of this transition of stepping away from things that don't serve you and stepping towards and or creating things that are going to make you happier and more fulfilled. And here we have the Eight of Wands. This is the sudden rapid change that comes in as you start doing this recalibration. Perhaps there is a little bit of a suddenness that does come with this Eight of Cups, not the emotional sort of letting go that has to occur with this as your general energy, but perhaps as you're doing this reflection and identifying what it is that makes you happy and makes you feel fulfilled, and then slowly building out a space where those ideas can come into the real world, perhaps eventually as this all starts to come into focus, you have all of these energy of all these different things that could be going on, or perhaps you have a lot of chaos in the current version of your life that is then going to rapidly come into focus. So here we have everything kind of all over the place. So these wands are just flying forward. But as you do this soul searching and this recalibration of yourself and get things in alignment with what matters to you, you're going to be able to take all of that sort of restless energy and channel it into making this change that you really want to look for, and learning to tap into the power that you really have inside of you that's going to allow you to create beautiful things and attach yourself to things that are of value and are meaningful to you. Make choices that lead you towards the things that you care about. And as you start communicating outwardly about the things that are important to you, and moving yourself in the direction of the things that do matter to you, you're going to be able to walk away from the things that do not serve you. And although there may be a little bit of melancholy as you walk away from things that maybe you used to identify with, as you start being more honest with yourself and communicating to the world around you what is important to you, you're going to start to feel a lot happier in whatever it is you're dealing with. So that's the general idea of what I'm getting from these cards. I hope that makes some sense. And of course, as always, if you see other messages that are coming out, always use your own intuition to see how this best fits with your personal situation. But that's the idea of what I'm seeing from this. So that's pretty nice. Let's see what the shadow deck has to show us. So we're going to pull one card from this, and that's going to tell us what is in your subconscious energy. I would like to get a little bit more about what it is you're walking away from. A lot of this seems to be telling me very much what you're working towards, and it's saying that sort of maybe the final step of this process is letting go of the things that do not serve you, but maybe we can get a little bit more information about what doesn't serve you. So let us see what is in your unconscious energy. Obviously, we're going to pull one card from here. Let's get one more good shuffle in. So what is in your unconscious energy, and what do we not see coming? Okay. So what you have in your unconscious energy is the Page of Cups. So we had the Queen of Cups up here as being this energy that was propelling you forward. Maybe here what's in your subconscious is a desire to be creative, to take your emotions and to use them to build something either that makes your life better, maybe not necessarily creative in an artistic way, but to just take that sort of untapped into creative potential inside of you and use that to make yourself, I mean, maybe you yourself are the work of art that you create, and you need to be able to tap into an energy that you maybe have lost touch with. Maybe the Eight of Cups is symbolizing that one of the things that's led you to this hermit period is that you've lost connection with the things inside of you that make you feel sort of more inspired. And so what's in your subconscious is this desire to reconnect with that, and I think that's what all of this work is eventually going to amount to, is trying to get back in touch with whatever that emotional spark, that creative spark that leads to that passion that allows you to create. You really want to tap into this lust energy and be able to make the changes to make your life better, and that's going to have to come from some source. And I think the Page of Cups is that source that is inside of you but is maybe not getting paid enough attention to because you're putting your energy into the wrong things. So let go of the things that don't serve you and start paying attention to the pieces inside of you that are telling you the things that are more important. And what you don't see coming is the Page of Spheres, which I think is telling me, at least, that once you tap into this energy that is inside you but not being used properly, not only is this going to make you happier, but it's going to start leading you to be more inspired in the things you create in the world that'll probably lead to more abundance by making more money, working on projects that feel more fulfilling, that allow you to feel more comfortable and grounded in your day-to-day life. But again, this is the source of the emotional resonance of things that you're not tapping into. And I think as you tap into that, your ability to be practical and grounded and use that inspiration to make things that are physically going to make your life better is going to be the unforeseen but amazing consequence that allows you to change your life into something much more powerful, and you can tap into that strength that's really inside of you that you're just not quite using to its full potential. So that was pretty nice. I like that. That's a nice message. I hope this was helpful for you, or at the very least you enjoyed it. As always, try to please leave a comment if you have anything to say. Like the video if you liked it, of course. Share it with anyone you think might also enjoy the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for new videos. I try to post these daily. So again, I hope this was helpful. I hope that you got some kind of message out of it, and at the very least, I again hope you enjoyed the experience. So that's all I have for you today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.